Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be talking about Sony ending physical disc by 2028 once again. Though this is a bit different than maybe what other people might be talking about, as other people are pushing the whole disc thing. I myself, any chance that I get it, I will, of course. But this is more of trying to understand, right? Trying to understand why they're making this really, really weird choice. And it actually makes, if you think about it just a little bit, it makes a lot of sense. I don't like it, nor do I think it should be gone. So let's get into it. First and foremost, what I would like, it's a couple things, if not one or two things. Second, if they really want physical games to disappear completely out of game shelves and whatever, then please, by all means, make your services better. First and foremost, you want to push these digital only copies of your games that we do not own, by the way, then please make it so that we do own them, even if it's digital. Because this whole thing of us not owning anything, and when we want to play something and the servers are offline because of maintenance or a hack, that is, you know, we're not hacked, but just them being hacked or something, and then we can't play single player games that don't require any connection whatsoever, that's kind of bullshit if you ask me. We definitely need to talk as to why this is happening. For one, yes, there has been a lot of digital sales because it's very convenient. It isn't just about you know, changing a disc and stuff. Sometimes it's just way easier to just go from one game to another without, you know, having to even move to go to the store if you want to buy it physically, or go through Amazon and wait for your copy. Because there is these things of day one patch nowadays that exist, and with that comes waiting, right? Not everybody has great internet, which is another problem that rises with an all digital future in terms of video games. And with not having good internet means you have long wait times. So that's why I think digital is a good space to have that there, because your game can actually install while you're maybe at work, while you're doing other things before getting home and installing, you know, because there's nothing worse than coming home and having to actually install something that you could otherwise could have been playing already. So what is the argument then? With all these topics, with all these subjects that I've been bringing up, so why am I making it about why? How are we supposed to understand all these nonsense that I've already just mentioned and why I don't like it? Well, besides digital media being very easy to access and all of that, besides, you know, everything else, it's because physical discs for a long time don't actually contain the game that you think you are buying. It equals the same thing as having a code and letting your friend borrow that code. If this is something else we don't know, if that code is accessible in multiple platforms. That's the other thing too. Are we just gonna let someone else borrow our code? Is that even possible? Or is it just a one-time purchase thing? And if we want to let someone else borrow our code, they also need to buy the game. That's kind of weird. But the reason why I was bringing up why I wanted to talk about understanding what Sony wants to do, for one, yes, it is because of what I just said. Most games don't actually come on a physical disc. And because they don't come on a physical disc, it is easier to take them off the shelves. Why? Because there was nothing there in the first place for you to own. Unlike music disc and vinyls, those don't just have a code inside. or in the disk as data. Those have actual data. Those have the content legitimately in the disk. It isn't just a storage space for data. It actually contains all the content within the disks. That goes for vinyls, that goes for Blu-rays, that goes also for music disc. And I'm pretty sure that is why Sony wants to take out discs. What is the point for them to keep games that don't even have the content inside in store shelves? Yes, this does do a lot of damage to literally, a lot of things. It's pretty much the conclusion, the thing I've come to understand from the more I hear about this topic, from the more I, watch other people talk about it and whatnot. So that's pretty much what I've come to understand. In my eyes, in my view of things, they just want to take away your physical disc because it's not like they had the game inside anyways. It was just a placeholder for collection of data in a way. It wasn't actually that the games were inside. Now, if we were still back then, kind of where the games were still physically, but we are still in like a digital space thing, I honestly don't think Sony would be taking out or trying to take out physical disc out of stores if the games actually were inside. It just doesn't make sense because this isn't just a PlayStation thing, right? This is also a Sony call. And Sony is the people that made the Blu-rays and CDs in the first place. So it doesn't make sense. It wouldn't make sense. This is the only excuse or the only conclusion. I wouldn't say excuse as much as conclusion as to why I think that's why they want to take disc out. Do I want this? No. I would love nothing more than to buy a game and actually have the actual game inside, not just a disc that collects data that actually is, the disc itself is freaking useless, but I would actually like to buy a physical disc that actually comes with a game inside. The only reason why I don't buy physical disc anymore, it's because, for one, I've been falling off PlayStation games. They just don't grab me like they used to. Or maybe they don't make them like they used to. They're all about this high graphical universe. There's no diversity in games, if that makes sense. It's just all kind of blending together. It's all kind of just the same type of games. It's just that it looks different or something. I don't know how to really explain that well, but they're just not grabbing me too much. I wanted to play Sorrows, don't get me wrong. And I have Death Stranding 2 on the place. Well, actually, I have Death Stranding 1 on the PlayStation and Death Stranding 2 on PC. The only thing holding PC out of this topic right now is the fact that PC is more of an open source, right? And there is different ways that you can keep your games alive even after they're not on the store, which is another issue about storefronts. What if you never got a chance to play a specific game and you wanted to play it and you just can't find it anymore because it's not on the storefront? On PC, there is ways to get that. Obviously, you have to be careful from time to time. You don't want to actually install malware on your PC. So obviously be careful about that. But there is legitimate ways for you to buy something and quote unquote own it, even as a digital product on PC. And it is because of that this kind of situation should be more focused on. We should definitely be focusing everything on improving consumer rights and consumer practices for the digital space, because this is almost illegal. Like, this is reaching topics now that it's just concerning for just a purchaser themselves. It's just concerning as for just future purposes. So I really do think that this topic and all this pushing for physical disc should be a thing, even if we accept that physical things are not a thing. Because let's face it, the whole physical topic isn't really the problem. It's the consumer practices and the consumer rights. We as the consumer deserve to own something, whether it's digital or physical. We own it. If we buy it, we should be owning it. We should not be told that it is a limited time offer of $80, $100 for you to play a game that eventually is going to expire. This sucks for developers that worked really hard on a game that people can't otherwise play the game anymore on, let's say, a console. And this also sucks for the consumer who eventually their game is just gonna expire. Do physical games expire? Of course, they get scratched and all that. But you can buy it again. You can find it anywhere. You can find them on, Amazon if it's a physical disc. You can find them, and talking about Amazon and physical disc, you can also find games that are on sale that maybe on their actual storefront are not on sale. That's another example. So there's a lot of reasons why physical media still works a lot, right? Like you can buy games cheaper physically sometimes because the storefronts just don't want to make their games go on sale at all. Look at Nintendo. Nintendo does the same thing. Nintendo's first party games never really go on sale. You have to buy them full price at all times. And it just sucks. It sucks to see. It sucks to just that we live in this timeline where you own nothing and you have to be happy about it. Right? You just accept it and that's it. How about no? How about we don't accept it? How about you give me what I paid for and I own it? How about you want to push this digital future? Then change your rules, because these rules that you have right now before then are not going to work out. If we still have these rules by 2028, things are going to escalate way more. And we're going to probably start seeing even government officials and just the government be involved with our video games, which is something that we don't necessarily want. We don't want all this stuff, but at this point, we are missing rules for consumer rights and practices. We definitely need to start getting more people's attention about this topic. We definitely need to keep going with this, because this isn't right. This isn't right for you. This isn't right for me. And for sure, it's only right for them, apparently. For full control and other whatever topics. All right. I think I'm done here. If you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I also have a Patreon if you would like to support me and my channel directly. With that said, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys have a great day, especially with all this going on, right? With all this stuff that has been going on for the last week, 2, I don't even know anymore. But I hope you guys have a fantastic day. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
I've had enough of you, so